Y'all, our refrigerator stopped working in our RV, and now we have water everywhere. And you might be thinking, brother, this ain't water I'm looking at. All right, that's true. Let me explain. Let me show you what's going on. So the RV fridge stopped working, and it's a 12-volt conversion. I was going to hot wire it. Long story short, my tools. I keep my tools in here in the bottom of the pantry. So this is the pantry. You see, here's our food, but I had my tools in the back, in the bottom. Look at this. See, water. Tons of water. It's like a sponge. That's what I keep my tool caddy on. But in the back of this thing, Sean was mentioning to me that it's raining, and could the water be coming through the wall? Well, this wall is bone dry. This is bone dry. The sides are bone dry. It's only the bottom where water's going from this side over to this side. I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense. 5.5 years in this thing, and we've never seen this. So what do? I'd say the fridge is over there. The fridge is right here, see? And the pantry is right there. So we decided to go draw a line. There's water in here. Took out this drawer. We're not normally this messy, folks. There's water in here. Took out this drawer. I'm in the middle of sopping up all the water. There's water in here. And the water came from under the fridge. And you might be saying, well, do you have an ice maker? No, we do not. So I think what happened is this, and I've had a few minutes to think about this. There is a drip tray. Come here. Let me show you. There's a drip tray in the back, and the water goes in there. And then the water goes down through a tube to the back outside. And it's raining right now, so I can't show you. And so I think we just moved the other day. And so I think what happened was there was some ice buildup in the fridge, and I didn't take care of it. And now that the fridge is not going below 44, 45 degrees, that ice is not ice anymore, and it melted. And the drip tray works, and the tube goes in through the back. You know when you see the black grates on the outside of an RV? That's where your fridge is if you have an RV fridge. The newer ones don't have that. So long story short, the water drips through the drip tube all the way to the back, and it got full. And when you're going down the road, sloshy, slushy, slushy, you had a whole refrigerator filled with ice that's melting, and all that water has to go somewhere, so it went under the fridge, because our fridge is a good 4 inches off the slide. It's not, there's an empty cavity in here, and the water goes through here, through here, through there. It's probably behind our fireplace too, but I don't know how the heck to take that out. So let me tell you, is RV life worth it? Yes, I think so. I still believe so. But, you know, we're not made out of money, so we're going to do as much of this as we can ourselves, and we'll bring you along. It's not going to be a highly technical video, so don't go anywhere. We're just going to bring you along through the stages. But are we going to have to bring in the pros for this one? I don't know. Am I going to be able to get the fridge working again? I don't know. I don't know. We're going to do as much as we can ourselves, and then if we have to bring in the big guns, we'll let you know. And that's all I know right now. Now I need to get back to drying up this water before that becomes a problem. So I got this drawer out above the fireplace. We're going to follow Sean's direction, and I got a lantern. This will work better. I don't know if my big fat noggin is going to... Don't look at my hair. Just miss it. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I hope you can get your head out of there.
Don't make me laugh. It'll blow the dust around. This is the inside cabinet behind the fireplace. Can you see? I'm trying to shine the light here. The floor looks dusty, which tells me there's no water in here. Let's pan to the left. No water. Pan to the right. No water.
I have a awesome thought. What about where the pantry is, since it didn't invade over there by the fireplace, to future-proof it, which I hope it never happens again, but I wonder if you could run silicone so at least maybe it wouldn't invade the pantry, but I guess you can't prevent it from invading under the stove and stuff, but at least it would stop the pantry.
That's fine, because all this stuff that got wet, all our tools and stuff, that's fine. We can deal with that later, but that's a great idea. When all this is said and done, and it's totally bone dry, yeah, we have silicone, and I absolutely can run a bead. That is a great idea. Fantastic. Sean for the win.
The next thing we did was put a fan down here, which is very important. As soon as you find any type of moisture, whether it's from your refrigerator leaking or from a rainstorm, to get that dried up as quickly as possible so it doesn't cause any more problems, and get a fan circulating on it for air. And this is our RV right now. I'm just going nuts with this disaster in here because I like everything in its home and in order, and that's not how it is right now.
So this is day 2 of the refrigerator saga. So we told you about the water on the floor. We figured out where it came from. So there was a bunch of ice buildup, as I think I mentioned, in the fridge, and I never cleaned it up. So the refrigerator broke, the ice melted. It came down this tube right here, but this tube wasn't hanging out the grate. This is the back of our refrigerator. The tube was where it was supposed to be, which is right here in this collection tray. It's about the size of a small wallet. So this overflowed, water came down here, went all behind the cabinets, under the drawers, everywhere we showed you the water was, that's how it got there. So that problem is solved. Now we just hang it outside the grate like you saw, so the water just goes to the ground. But now the question is, how in the world did the fridge break in the first place? What happened? Well, it's a 12-volt conversion from JC Refrigeration, so I've been on the phone with them, and they're trying to help me troubleshoot. I still don't know what the problem is. Well, the problem is it don't work. I don't know what the cause is, but just so you know, this is the compressor for the freezer, and this is a compressor for the refrigerator. And so I'm taking pictures of all this stuff and sending it to them, and when we figure something out, you'll know about it. So one thing we can't forget to do while we're trying to figure out the exact solution is we can't forget to throw away the bad food. Because what happens with bad food in the fridge? It gets stinky. It can also get furry and hairy, and that's everybody together. Ooh, so we don't want that. So I hate to throw good food away, and I really hate to throw this away. Don't tell Buc-ee's, we had to throw away the good stuff. Gone. Let's see. We also have a little bit of this. One's better for grilling and one's better for Ninja, but that's beside the point. We'll talk about that another day.
It's just weird throwing stuff away that's completely not even open.
I know. And let's see. Oh, eggs. This really hurts. We have eggs every single morning. I'm not going to toss that in there. We'll just set that gently in the trash. So you get the point. I'm not going to make you sit here for the whole thing, but we are going to go through and throw everything that's not good above 40 degrees.
And this is day 3. This happened on Monday. Today is Wednesday. And we still have a gigantic mess all on the floor. This is mainly Matthew's mess. Here's our drawers. So today we've used a fan for 2 days in a row. Just wanted to make sure everything was dry. We're pretty confident that it is. And since the fridge has no more ice to dump out, we are going to put the drawers back, and Matthew gets to do all this mess.
We can be civilized again and not live like Pigpen in our own home. So all of this can go away, and I'm very happy with that. Very, very.
Here is all of our bad food. Everything that's left should still be good. But we discovered that there's water all under these trays. So the cabinets wasn't the only place that had water.
So it's a good excuse to clean out the fridge. It's already wet. All we have to do is dry it up and clean it up. You see all the water, folks? That's a lot of water in there, but that's easy to clean up, so. Good news. We think we've got this whole thing figured out, and I'll tell you how it happened. So just in case this may help you. So I was back here playing with these wires. You see, ouch, that's hot. You see all these wires in here? It's kind of hard for you to see, but there's like a yellow one, a blue one, there's a red and a black, and another red and a black. So these are called spades, and this is what they look like. This is what a spade looks like. This goes on the terminal, and the wire goes in this end right here. So I was playing with them, and it looked like one of the wires wasn't exactly correct. It was like a little bit loose, and come to find out when I pushed it back in, the end of, well, where'd it go? When I would push one of the wires back in the end of the spade, all of a sudden this compressor the fridge compressor would come back on. And it's working right now, as a matter of fact. And then the next day, it stopped working again. So then I would play with the wire, I was ready to give up, and all of a sudden, poof, it started working again. So between Sean and myself and JC Refrigeration, we really believe that it's just the wiring. It's just got off somehow. So I have 3 of these little critters to replace. I've done one. I'm going to do another one with you. And then we're going to come back to you and tell you that this whole thing is working, I hope. This should be not too hard. They're also sending us a wiring harness, but that's not going to come for a few days. So the company's sending a wiring harness, and I'm like, well, that's great, wonderful, thank you. But I'm not going to wait for that. I just went to Lowe's and we got these. So we'll see if they work. The first thing I have to do is get this blue wire out. This is not made for people with big hands, so not easy for me. There we go. Maybe you could hear that. What is that? A compressor just turned off. Now, the first one is really loose and I could just pull it out. Let's see. Nope, there it is. Cool. Yep. So with this, these wires are so small, you just have to be careful. There's a bunch of little fine wires in here, and you can see on the end there's just one poking out. That one wire is not going to do anything for you. You have to get the full scope of these little wire strands. So I'm going to cut that off right there because I want to make sure I get the full scope of the wires. I think these wires are so small that I use the second to the end hole on the wire strippers. There, that looks good. Look at that, you can see all the wires there. And what I'm going to do is just twist them. Twist them so they're going to go in and they're not going to get all broken up and brittle and stuff inside this thing, this spade. So let me put that in there. And this is dirty. If you only do RV parks, folks, yours is not going to get this dirty. Ours is this dirty because we don't just do RV parks. We do boondocking, and if you've ever been to quartzsite, then all of you people shake your heads all together. Yes, this is quartzsite dust. That's what it does. It makes everything dirty. All right, I'm going to make one more attempt to push this in here. I think it's good. Squeezy, squeezy, squeezy. Okay. I don't know if this will show up, but this ain't coming out. I squeezed it in 3 different places. And there's a metal sheath in there, so when you squeeze it, it clamps onto the wire. Just like that. See? Who needs high-tech graphics when you have a hand demonstration? There you go. I don't need that anymore. So this is the blue one, and the blue one goes on the 3rd spade, or the 3rd terminal, whatever it is. Ow. Some of these are hot, y'all. There we go. Compressor's working. I only have one more to do. I'm not going to bore you with that. So we'll come back and show you if it's still working or not when I get this all done. It is the next day, and would you believe the fridge is still working? Hallelujah. I mean, that's really nice. So we think we fixed it, but one thing I failed to mention to you when we were going over out behind the fridge the other day is 2 of the spades had loose wires. I think I mentioned that. And that's the reason we had to replace them. But this one, if Sean can focus in on this, I'll put it on paper towel. Does it look black to you? I'll just rotate it slowly here. This sucker got melted. On the inside of the spade, there's a metal piece, and on the outside, it's just kind of plastic sheathing, you know? So the plastic got melted. So that caught the eye of JC Refrigeration when I sent them a picture. And they said, that shouldn't be that color. So we replaced that one too. Now, I know, they're sending us, they're good enough, they're nice enough to send us a wiring harness kit. That's not supposed to be here for at least a few more days. I didn't want to wait. Would you want to wait to see if your refrigerator would work and wait a few more days? No, you wouldn't. Neither do I. Neither does Sean. So fixed is fixed. If we need the wiring harness, we can use it. But at least we got all 3 spades replaced, and just for giggles, let's go see what the temperature looks like. As soon as I open this door, it's going to go up because this sucker is sensitive. Right there, the red is the temperature it is, and the blue is the temperature it wants to be. So it works. It's worked overnight. If at any point it stops working, we'll let you know, but otherwise, we're good to go. The refrigerator's working, no more flooding. And I might add that I am going to definitely stay on top of the ice buildup in this thing, because I know we keep it at 32 degrees, not 40 degrees, so it will get some ice buildup. That's just life. It's going to happen. I would recommend to you, if you have a similar setup to ours and you have fin fans and just a little bitty drip tray, and you don't want to hang the hose out the vent like we do, that you keep the ice manageable. I let it go way too far. It looked like an iceberg in there. So I'm going to be using the hair dryer to defrost that every so often so it doesn't quite get so bad.